If you make HD morphs, you are going to want to look at making a projection morph for it. The thing is that HD morphs do not project to clothing. So if your HD morph, all those details, they kind of push out a bit, they might push through and cause some poke through in your clothing, which is not desirable. So I'm going to show you how to first figure out if you need a projection morph and then how to create it. So let's take Victorious 6 as an example. We're going to do one morph at a time, meaning I'm going to do just the body, and then if we feel like it, we can do the head as well. So I'm going to dial up Victorious 6 body, and then Victorious 6 body HD details. Now we're going to export this out, but before we do that, I need to go in here and find out what resolution it was built at. It says level 3 here, so we know that it was built at sub-D level 3. I'm going to copy this name, and then I'm going to go to the resolution, and I want to change the subdivision level limits to 3, the value to 3, hit accept. We'll wait a second here, and then pretty soon it'll be done subdividing the mesh, and then we will export it out to OBJ. And then, once it is done exporting, I will import it back in and color it some obnoxious color so it'll be very obvious if it is poking through the model. Now that's done, let's go ahead and restore the subdivision level. So I alt-clicked it to set it back to 1. And then I'm going to import. And then let's go change the color. This will work. And then go back here, and we're going to turn off the HD morph. Now the reason I do that is because I basically want to see, okay, someone puts clothing on the figure when Victorious 6 is dialed up, and then they dial up Victorious 6 HD, what details are going to come through beyond Victorious 6 that need to be cleaned up. And so you can see a lot of poke through going on here. And so what you need to do is basically take Genesis 2 female and the Victorious 6 morph, export that out, and then go and load your HD morph and the Victorious 6 morph into your modeler, and then just pull the mesh out until there's no visible poke through, and then load it back in as a morph. So I'm going to go do that right now. Okay, I built my morph. I just need to load it in through Morph Loader Pro. So launch Morph Loader Pro, and I'm just going to turn off my preset. And I name my morph FBM Victorious 6 HD underscore PROJ. So it has to be the same name as the HD morph, and then you put underscore PROJ on the end. And when we load it in, we need to turn off create control property. We want reverse deformations set to yes. The reason we do reverse deformations is that the HD morph is additive to the regular resolution morph. So when we make our projection morph, we also have to make it additive to Victorious 6. So we'll do the reverse deformations and then click accept. Now we should have a morph right here, and when you dial it up, it should cover up all the poke through, which it did. So we know we have a good projection morph. Now we just need to save it. Just to tidy things up a little bit, I usually will move this from the morphs group over to right next to the original body morph. So I'm going to right click, go to edit mode, full body, people, real world, and drop it in there. And now if we go in there, sorry, okay, we can see FBM Victorious 6 HD PROJ is listed in here. We're going to save that morph. So go save as, support asset, morph asset, Victoria 6. We make sure the asset directory is where we want it to save, and that these paths match where the original Victoria 6 morph was. And then we come in here and find the morph. There it is, and we're going to save it out. Now I'm going to go find the file really quick, and I'll show it to you. Alright, now I'm in here in the library data DAZ3D Genesis 2 female folder, and you'll see here I have a morphs folder and a projection morphs folder. Now I just saved out the morph, and it's going to be in morphs DAZ3D Victoria 6, and let's see if we can find the morph here. There it is, FBM Victoria 6 HD _ PROJ. Now you can see this path. Here, let me show you how we do this. So we're in the Victoria 6 folder. We need to go up here to female projection morphs and match the same path. So morphs is equivalent to projection morphs, and then DAZ3D Victoria 6. And then we are going to take this projection morph and move it to this folder. In this case I already had one, but we replace it. So now that it is moved over to here, if I go and I package up my morphs for my character, for my Victoria 6 HD character, I will have a morphs folder and a projection morphs folder. And what happens is in DAZ Studio, when it goes to project a morph to your clothing, when the HD morph is dialed up, it will go and look in this parallel folder path and find the projection morph, if it exists, and it'll use that to push, it'll use that to generate the morph on your clothing instead of the HD morph, which won't generate one. This should enable you to support HD morphs on clothing, and this is an essential thing to do if you're a character creator and you're doing HD.